Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Ian and this is Jane.
Hi.
And if you've not been here before, we are reviewing Edinburgh Fringe, and this is our fifth show of our first full day here. Actually it's not, because we did also go to a 2-hour comedy review where there was about, I don't know, 20 acts on, but this is our fifth proper show, shall we say. And this was...
It is Aidan Sadler, Tropicana, LGBT comedy. Join award-winning cabaret icon Aidan Sadler for belting 80s synth-pop nostalgia punctuated with world-class stand-up comedy. Tropicana returns to the Fringe from its sold-out extended run in 2021 to explore the gender binary.
Now this show was recommended to us last year and we just couldn't get to see it. He was part of the Space last year. He's moved up in the world as Aidan, and he's now with the Assembly in a much bigger room, I think, but it's proper theatre.
Well,
he said that,
big,
so that was his words, not ours.
Yeah.
And I, to be fair, I wasn't so sure what to expect, but it did come on, and it was recommended, and we knew it had sold out last year. I have to say, I just absolutely loved it. I mean, he played all of my favourite 80s hits. He sang all of my favourite 80s hits. Actually, interestingly, Club Tropicana, it was the only one that is not a favourite of mine. But all of the others, he did Aha, he did King, he did, everybody. He was great, actually.
Fantastic voice.
What a voice! This guy's got a set of pipes. He's amazing.
Incredible.
So he would do his song, and then there would be a little bit of an interlude of sort of comedy, and lots of audience participation. He did try and get me to admit that I would wear a dress, which I thought was quite nice. I've lived all my life and never had a lady's dress on. But he said if I come back tomorrow, he'll have another dress for me, didn't he? He was great, actually. I absolutely loved him. I thought he was great,
Hugely entertaining.
Absolutely fantastic.
He said he was still trying out little bits of
material. His co-writer was in the back making notes, because it's still a preview show, and he said right at the beginning, it's a preview show, I'm going to do what the hell I like, which was quite, And actually when a joke sort of went slightly flat, he would then comment on it and make a joke about it, which was actually quite lovely, because he said, I'll make a note of that, and we might put something else in. So you could argue it's maybe work in progress, but honestly, what an amazing show. I would definitely go see him again.
Yeah, it was very, very entertaining.
Yeah. But if you love 80s music, and actually I was, because from a musician's point of view, I kept thinking it's got the original soundtracks.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether you can purchase them without the vocal, because it did sound like those original soundtracks, and if they're copies, they've been incredibly well done, because the use of synthesizers and the sound quality of those tracks is brilliant. Yeah.
I mean, he did sort of throughout the show, he said, he was a gay man, and it was, well, he didn't say it's not for heterosexual people, but it was geared.
Yes.
He asked at one point, how many gays were in the audience and how many straights. Well, in fact, he asked straight men, didn't he?
Straight men, that was it. Yeah.
At which point he was targeting in.
Yeah.
But none of it.
I think there was only two of us, actually. There was only me and another guy put out.
Yeah, it wasn't done.
There's nothing threatening about it.
No.
And it was great, actually. It was, I was quite happy to be his foil. And he kept, and he knew that there might be another press there, but he knew what the press were in. Yeah. And I suspect Aidan probably knew, because we had our lanyards on that we were press, but he kept asking other people if they were press,
But there was a lady in the front row called Jackie who was a psychotherapist.
Yeah.
Well, of course, he kept referring to her as well, and how she would interpret some of what he'd said. So he was able to sort of, you know, not ad-lib as such, but change and focus.
He was able to ad-lib really well, though.
But he did ad-lib.
I mean, there was a guy, he said Morrissey.
Yeah, and he said, actually, he said that to me as well.
Yeah.
And I didn't know how to respond, so I didn't say anything.
And this guy clearly had no idea who the Smiths were. So Aidan then spent a good few minutes, you know, naming this charming man and the songs by the Smiths, and that they were an 80s band, which was, you know, so that was an ad-lib, but it was really well done.
Funny.
He was great, actually. You know, so non-threatening. Whatever your gender is, I would say you've got to go see him. Really, I think he's brilliant. You know. Yeah, he's absolutely superb.
Yeah, no, we thoroughly enjoyed it.
So, do you want to say when he's on, or because I've got it here if you need it?
I've got it here. He is on at the Assembly, George Square, the Blue Room. It's venue 8.
Takes a bit of finding, actually.
Yeah, it's behind.
Yeah.
The big Assembly, and I can't think of it.
And with him, we sort of, I thought it was over at George Street, and we were sat having a meal, and Jane said, I don't think it is. I think it's back over near the university, and we dashed. We did an almost a sprint run to get across town, and we were actually 2 minutes late, but luckily the queue hadn't gone in. So you know that proves that it won't be the last time we do that either. But you know, you need to plan where you're going to be next. But that's my mistake.
It was a rookie mistake.
And actually, we weren't the only people that did that, because a girl and a chap in front of us said exactly the same thing. They suddenly realised that it wasn't at near George Street. It was actually the other side of town.
George Square.
It was at George Square.
So 3rd and 4th were previews. We've obviously had that. So it's on at 10:20 at night for an hour. So it's now on from tomorrow,
which is the 5th,
right through.
Yeah, to the 28th.
To the 28th. Yeah.
2 for 1 days as normal are 8th and 9th. But absolutely fantastic. Must see. And I'm not going to ask you what your stars are, because I'm going to say mine first. Because I mean, and I have to do say, I did sing along all the way through.
He loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I knew all the words, apart from Club Tropicana. I knew all the words to all the songs, and I was there singing my head off. I had a great time. It was absolutely fantastic. 5 stars from me. Oh. Yeah,
well, I didn't know. I might have said 4, but I will go along with 5.
You can go with what you like, though.
Yeah, no, okay. Well, we always go for the.
I know, so it's going to be 5 anyway, but
it is
so are you going to go for 5 as well, or are you going to go for your 4?
I probably would have gone for 4.
Okay, Jane's a 4, I'm a 5. It's a 5-star review. It's absolutely superb.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy with that.
So we'll see you tomorrow for some more. We've got another busy day tomorrow. I think we've got 5 or 6 shows booked in tomorrow. We might not get to all of them, to be honest, because the way that it's working, we are struggling to get to see everything that we want to see.
And we are actually, and this doesn't happen very often, we are going to see different things.
Actually that's the first
thing.
Yeah, so there's something that Jane fancied, and it clashed with something that I really wanted to see. So what we'll do there, we'll still do the review, but we'll be able to tell each other what we thought of it. Yeah, that's how we work. So that's the first thing tomorrow morning. Okay. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Cheers now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.